Hey guys, welcome to the Feast Me Network's Phees Sportsball with Sir Isaac the Guru. How you doing, Sir Isaac?
Doing good as always.
Did you rock and roll last week, or did you stumble and fall?
I survived in college football. It was a real bad start, and then NFL I kind of got back on the winning side of things. But
he started doing a little bit of checking on me on the Sunday afternoon, didn't you?
Yeah,
Sundays you were rocking it, weren't you?
The last 2 weeks have been really good. I think the last 2 weeks in the NFL I'm 10-3.
10-3. Last 2 weeks in NFL, I just say play it over. Whoever Dallas is playing.
No, that's just a gimme. That's a gimme every week.
I don't know why people aren't just spending thousands and thousands because they'd just be up.
I know. It's crazy, and it's literally every single week. And they didn't even play good last week, and they still went over. Their offense was horrible. But still, it wasn't even close either, I think. I mean, they're covered. They're not even like, how is Vegas not jacked up the lines?
I just think that Vegas is a little nervy when it comes to plus 60-something in the pros. I mean, they normally go from 40 to 49. If you'll get a big line, it might be 52 or 53. You don't see, I mean, in college, you see, minus 60. But you're not going to find that in the NFL. But, boy, I tell you what, Isaac, I thought South Carolina was going to get Bama last week. What did you think about that?
It was a scary game, and then I think it's actually funny because both sides can, I think, come out of that feeling okay. I think Bama was absolutely horrified, and then at the end they kind of, like, stepped up and looked like they needed to. South Carolina, like, competed. They've had a rough season, so but no, it was definitely a little bit of a scary game for Bama, but they just keep closing them out right now. They look really good. And
well, you were struggling Saturday with the 2-4 record, but you just came to life with the money line with my Memphis Tigers and my Ole Miss Rebels. Grew up 7 miles from downtown Memphis. Love Memphis State Tigers in basketball. Not so much in football, as I was a Razorback fan. Sir Isaac didn't believe in my Tigers when they played the Hogs, and he does not like Lane Kiffin, but he knows how to cash tickets. And you cash tickets with a money line Memphis and an Ole Miss parlay that made that 2-4 a good day.
And I parlayed them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you parlayed
them. That saved me. And then I ended up betting. Again, I say this all the time. I literally sent a video to Will of my picks because they're so different from what I put on here. The ones I put in here I keep, but then, like on Saturday, I'll sit there and look at different games, and I end up liking more. But I ended up betting Tennessee minus 7.5, A&M minus 1.5, and Mississippi State, which they almost got backdoored on their cover. That game was like a lock the whole game, and then Texas came back and won by 7, but they still covered 8. So the overall record ended up being okay, but as far as the picks I had on this show, no, they were not good. Not good picks. And
well, Sir William Smee, the one and only, the Cat Daddy Mall, and Mr. President, all the way from the Northeast, will be joining us tonight at 7 o'clock. So I look forward to that opportunity. And let's go ahead and just finish up our recap of last week, Isaac, because I thought, again, the Razorbacks just didn't.
It's unfortunate for my picks, too, that I don't allow myself to bet against Arkansas because it would have been another win for me. But
it was a win for Phee.
I just...
Both my boys homers, too.
I don't even know what to even... we really can't... I'm not even, more mad. I mean, it's fine. I feel the same way I have the last 4 weeks. I mean, it's like... I'm not going to get increasingly mad because we lost to Auburn. Who cares? Our season's done. It doesn't matter.
Do you still believe if Petrino beats Texas, he's the coach?
The more that we're losing these games, and I don't even think it's Petrino's fault, first of all. I would be absolutely outraged if we hire him, but at the same time, I don't think he's a bad coach, and I'm not blaming him for this. I think he's doing fine with his position right now. So when I say this, I'm not trash talking Petrino, but the more that we keep losing, if we were to decide to hire him, I'd be like leading the dang protest of like, what are we doing? It would make no sense. I haven't got it the whole time. It hasn't made sense to me the entire time. And then the more that the season is going how it is, it just makes even less sense. And so, no, I would be like legitimately, there's a few options out there that people are throwing around their name that I would be real angry if we hired him. He's one of them. But I just, I'll keep watching the games and get to the end of the season and we'll just keep trucking along. But it was a bad game. We had a couple plays that you kind of thought we had a little juice, like the pick six, and you kind of started to think like, okay, maybe we're actually going to win one handily, and then just can't do it.
Ugly.
And you know what it was? You referenced this before, but you know what did it to us? They went to who? The backup quarterback.
Yep.
And we are the worst team in the history of the world against backup.
We just make every backup look like they're all Americans.
When they put in that backup, I was like, well.
Been doing it for 40 years. I'm telling
crazy.
you, we've been doing it for 40 years. If everybody says, oh, the first string quarterback's out, I'm like, okay, well, good luck with that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's true. It's consistent.
Well, you got LSU finally got rid of Brian Kelly. Never thought it was a fit. Never have really particularly liked his coaching style.
Well, apparently no one else does either.
Well, he never was really liked down in the bio, but that's the number one coaching job in America.
Yeah.
And if Nick Saban comes out of retirement or Lane Kiffin takes that job, then it's just going to be a dominoes effect with that Penn State and that Florida job. But, there are going to be more of them.
Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be more because that's how
fives.
it all goes, and there's already a long list of people who could be, moving on. But no, that's been a bad look for him, like really bad, because obviously he was getting a bunch of people weren't super high on him. That's why he got fired. But then after he gets fired, I have not heard a single positive thing from former players at LSU or people on the staff or whatever about him. Everybody can't stand him. Literally everyone. The players are all coming out like giving stories that they've been keeping their mouth shut about, being like, I remember when he did this. I mean, it's a bad
It's piling
bad
on
look.
at this point.
Yeah, and James Franklin, like, he gets fired, and then you got players of his coming out being like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Like, he always cared, blah, blah, blah. Literally everything I've heard about Brian Kelly is he doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care about the players. No one likes him down here. I mean, it's wild. But I'm happy they got rid of him. I got tired of seeing his face. I'd really like any time that LSU goes through adversity, support it. So
great baseball program, great football program. They were down in basketball. They had Pistol Pete Maravich when I was very, very young, but then they went through a downtime. I had Dale Brown, Shaquille kind of put them on the map. But LSU basketball has been the worst of the three.
And they cheated for a few years to be decent, but then they fired that guy, and then they're now back to being bad again.
Well, Oregon's getting a little sloppy.
Yeah, they are. Which we said that last week too when we were talking about. I think Indiana's really good. I still think so. But after the Penn State win from Oregon, and then seeing how their remainder of their games is gone, they don't look as good as people thought when they beat Penn State. When they beat Penn State, people were throwing out Oregon and Ohio State. That was like the two schools. And now, I don't know, it seems like public opinion-wise, Oregon's probably down in the 4, 5,
middle
6
of the
area.
pack with a Pontiac when it comes to the top 12. But Sir Isaac the Guru was ahead of the curve again with Alabama. They look like the second best team in the country, if not the first best. And I believe Phee told you a couple of weeks ago an SEC team would win the national championship.
I hope so, because right now it looks like it's Ohio State's to lose. I think the two, if you look across their team, I think the two best defensive football players in the nation play for Ohio State. And I think 2 or 3 of the best offensive players, of the top group of offensive players.
You got a wide
on the
receiver
team.
there that's a sophomore that's the best receiver in probably this last year's draft.
Their defense is incredible. They're just killing people. I mean, I don't even. Their quarterback is in the best spot you could possibly be. I mean, he has the best job on the planet. Like they're winning games. They could win games if they had scored 14 points. I think they'd be undefeated in every game. I think Illinois may have scored more than that, but I mean, he literally just you just got to score 2 or 3 touchdowns and you're winning. I mean, their defense is just embarrassing people.
Folks, if you live long enough, Phees a dinosaur, I have to tell you that Vanderbilt and Phee don't go in the same sentence as a good football. I see Vanderbilt and I see good football.
They actually look good. Last year when they were winning a few big games, they kind of looked like they were just riding the momentum. Obviously, that quarterback is like everyone talks about. I mean, he's a dog and obviously feeds off energy a bunch. But they were winning a couple games they shouldn't. This year, I agree with you. They actually look. You watch them and they just look good. Last year, I did not think that was the case. But man, yeah, they're solid. And Vegas is tempting everyone again this week to ride with them again.
Absolutely,
because Texas is a favorite.
That's where I was going here in the next session. We're fixing to get into it, but I wanted to bring up that Vanderbilt looks like a good football team.
They really do.
So, let's go into this week. Sir Isaac the Guru, right here on the Face Me Network. You've got, he talked about some frauds. He's still got Notre Dame and A&M as frauds.
I was going to roll through this list because when Drew and Will come on later, I'm going to ask them for their number one fraud pick. But I'm going to rattle through some of these teams because I just am still not a believer in any of these teams.
I think I'll have a say also.
A couple of them are more obvious than not. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. I'll say the team that is on my fraud list, and I'll let you give your opinion on it. Okay. So we'll start with Georgia Tech.
The rambling wreck of Georgia Tech. They just made me look real bad against Clemson early on. They're not a top-tier football team, but they play in a weak ACC, and they're going to be fine. I do not think that they'll be anywhere near the college football playoffs in the end.
I don't think so either. How about BYU?
BYU is always the Mormons. I'm not a fan since they had a left-handed quarterback named Steve Young. Big fan of Steve Young's.
Yeah.
Since then, BYU and Phee don't get along, so I think they're frauds.
All right, Notre Dame. Two-loss Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is going to the playoffs. Said it when they were 0-2 right here on the Face Me Networks. Phees, Sportsball, Sir Isaac the Guru. They do not lose again. They go to the football playoffs at 10-2.
You think they can contend for a playoff?
They will contend for a playoff.
All right.
Do I think they'll contend for a national championship? I think they're going to continue to get better every single week, and no one will want to play them at the end of the year.
All right. Virginia, this is kind of a cheater one because I don't think anyone believes in Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia's just keeps it. Again, you got another ACC school that nobody will know how good they are until they play against somebody outside the ACC.
Overtime game against North Carolina was not a good look.
Hey, do you know that your favorite girl, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, has started 18 separate businesses since they've actually been going out? I thought that might reinforce what you were talking about there. 18 new business ventures.
Anyone who doesn't believe what I was talking about is literally smoking something that you can buy off the street corner. I mean, what? I don't understand. It's insane that anyone who chose to take the stance of it could be true love. Get out. Look, get out of here. Get out. No one's got time for that. I don't have time for that, and you know better. Whoever you are.
Whoever you are out there.
It's insane. It makes no sense. But you know what? Go her.
Go her and go Bill. Just take somebody with you.
Yeah,
because I got a feeling right now they're already talking about, what is the buyout here?
And it's not cheap. Neither are any of them. But apparently we just got monopoly money now, so we're just fire whoever you want.
Anybody out there, send Phee some monopoly money.
I'm starting to think the national debt and the coaching buyouts are kind of the same logic. We're just going to pretend it doesn't exist.
Here's how I keep up with the national debt. There's 37 trillion cells in the human body, and there's $37 trillion worth of debt for the U.S. So easy for Phee.
We're just making stuff up at this point.
Printing it, baby, printing it, and the value of the dollar is going down because of these BRICS nations with China and Russia and India and there's another one there, South Africa. That's what I was looking for. But the BRICS is going to devalue the dollar on the forex exchange market, so you got forward to look at that. But there ain't no gold backing up all those trillions of dollars, brother.
No.
It's called petro oil from Saudi Arabia, and that's why you still driving vehicles that have gasoline and fuel and diesel.
Last one we got is A&M.
A&M will choke. I would say it every week. A&M chokes at least one time a year. They are a playoff team. I don't think they'll get anywhere near the national championship. It wouldn't make. I'd love for them to go undefeated and Texas beat them at the end. That's just so Aggie, in Aggie land. So
that was the list. That was
so.
the
How did I answer that? The Aggies are frauds when it comes to national championship, but they are good enough to get in that top 12.
Before I'm going to look up their remaining schedule super fast.
What'd you say?
I'm looking up A&M's remaining schedule super quick.
I thought you said what is the name of A&M's mascot?
No, I think. Oh gosh, I think they're going to finish with one loss, which stinks because they'll get in the playoff. But I was going to try to see if I even believe that they could get knocked out, but I don't think they can.
I don't know if Sir Isaac does enough homework. He's about 6 hours in. Phee doesn't even know who they're playing. He just says they're going to lose one and still get in the playoffs.
They're going to lose to Missouri next week, and then.
Well, where's that game? Because Missouri's not
at Missouri.
Okay, well,
but Texas A&M, they just can't get it done. They can't. They never have. And that quarterback, I'm telling you, I've been saying it.
Yeah.
He keeps winning games with he's not even good. They're winning games. He's throwing like last week. He was like 12 of 21 for like 200 yards. I mean,
you could do that.
Yeah,
you could do.
He ain't gonna keep getting away with it. At some point, you're gonna face a situation where you have, unless they just break every single thing I've ever learned about football. At some point, you're gonna run into a situation where you have to throw the ball and drive the ball, and he's yet to show me that I believe that he can do it. So.
If A&M goes to Notre Dame early in the year and wins and is undefeated, they earned their ranking. I think they're going to be there in the end? They just choke. The Aggies choke sometime, somewhere, somehow.
Yep.
So that's how that goes. All right, Sir Isaac. Now we're moving on to the dadgum college football this week. We'll start with Vanderbilt plus 3.5 against Texas. The Longhorns.
I can't see how we don't pick Vandy.
At Vandy.
No, at Texas.
At Texas.
Yes. Plus 3.5 at Texas.
Boy, I just keep being wrong. LSU
Texas.
At home, and I was thinking, well, Vanderbilt ain't going to beat LSU. And then you got Vanderbilt. Who did they lose to? Because, they lost.
Did they play Bama?
That was it.
Okay.
Alabama beat them because they played that game well.
Yeah, they did.
So now you're going to go to Darrell Royal Memorial Stadium with 108,000. Vanderbilt. Are they ready for big time football?
I guess they didn't make my frauds list. I don't know that I'm high on them, but I have no foundation to say that they're not good. They've played a lot of hard games and they keep winning. So I called it last week. I thought that was the week they're going to lose to Mizzou because it feels like that's what Missouri's been doing the last couple of years is everyone will forget about them and then they pop back up at the end of the year.
Now you're thinking that's going to happen next week to the Aggies.
I do. I do. And that's just A&M, like you said, they choke. That's just what they do. But no, I don't see how – this is one of those that you get curious of the line because – Texas has done nothing but disappoint all year long. Arch is hurt. And then you would be thinking, okay, maybe their backup everyone's excited about. No, their backup's played for like 3 different schools. He started, I think, 5 football games in his college career. And I think he's thrown like 7 picks in those 5 games.
That's a brand game, baby. That's a brand game. The public will play Texas. They set that line. I'm telling you right now, the Sharps might be on Vandy.
I hope so.
More than a field goal with a backup quarterback. I just guess they're thinking Texas's defense at home is going to gain momentum and do well. So that's an interesting game to watch for Phee. I'm not so sure that I would be playing that. if I was handicapping games and playing, that would not be a pick for Phee.
I love the fact that it's 3.5 for the pick because
If you're taking Vandy.
yes, because you're getting you can lose by a field goal and cover. So
3-7, baby, 3-7. Just take the hooks. Just take the hooks. Take the hooks. I don't know though. I mean, Vanderbilt going to Texas at only 3.5. How things change.
I was going to say, just saying it out loud is weird.
All right, OU plus 2.5 at Tennessee.
I think that this is a college football playoff elimination game. Tennessee has 2 losses. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to fact check myself. I think both teams have 2 losses.
Neither team good enough to be in the top 12.
No, but this is why if we said it, I think last week about some game, I don't remember which one, but this is one that makes the 12-team playoff fun because this game, legit, this is a knockout game. Whichever team loses, this is out of it. And I have said this way earlier, 3 shows ago. I forgot who Tennessee was playing. They played a home game and it was in the afternoon, and I said, if it was at night,
Georgia.
I said if it was at night, whole different ball game. Well, I got what I asked for. You get a big time game against a top 25 team at home, night game at Tennessee. I think OU has been living in a world, for the last 20 years where their fan base and Texas's fan base run the world in the Big 12, and those are the 2 schools you don't want to play at. But you don't go to Kansas for a night game and have to fight much adversity. You don't go play it wherever the heck.
Texas Tech, Colorado, Kansas State, Baylor.
You don't do that. But when you go to Tennessee, when Tennessee's good
after
as a
the
night
week
game,
Ole Miss.
Yeah, I like Tennessee a lot in that game. But it's a great football game.
Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee, Rocky Top, Tennessee. Folks, just play the Vols. Play a minus 3.5. That is Phees' pick of the week. Going against the Paper Clips, just like he did last week with Ole Miss.
I'm always down to root against OU.
This week is Tennessee Volunteers with the orange and white checkerboard end zones. There's a play that Phee would say, it's time to partay.
That's a game I'd like to be at. That'd be a
great
environment.
Game. Absolutely great game to be at. And OU, just say it. When you play in the SEC, you bring your big boys pants every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every week.
And to be fair, I like Tennessee. That was one of your potential contenders too. They've had a couple questionable moments. So it's not like a situation where I'm going to sit here and be like, you know what, Tennessee's just
don't think they're in the top 12.
No,
but they're knocking at the door.
Their offense is the best offense in the country right now. And man, I wouldn't want to play them in a night game at home. I'll tell you that. The next one, by the way, on the list is a great night game at home too that I've also talked about this year.
Again, you and your night games. Is that silly?
Will's, yep, it's Will.
To get him on the air.
What's up, Will Smith?
What's going on, Guru?
Sir William Schmee, the one and only. How you been doing today, Sir William?
Not bad. I can't complain. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I got a visitor in the house tonight, and along with Sir Isaac the Guru. So I've got a Miss Janie. She's a boxer dog. And so she's a sweet little dog, and I'm thinking that maybe Champ and Oliver, which is about 4 times the size of her, are about going to eat her. So we're trying to do the best we can to separate them and move on.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. But other than that, it sounds like you're having a good night.
Having a great night.
I'm hoping he didn't recruit me for help because I believe I'm going to not be here for that event.
I think as the Guru
Hello, son.
you should be there, Isaac.
You think so?
I think so, personally.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we do have our special guest segment tonight with Sir William Schmee, the one and only, and Mr. President joining us from the Northeast. How are you doing, Mr. President?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Dad, and thanks, Guru, for having us back on. I appreciate it.
Well, we hope to have it a weekly segment with you guys. Sir Isaac wants to jump right in with the old Sir William Smee. He wants to ask you some questions, and between you and Mr. President, we would like to see what you guys think. Go ahead. Set it up, Sir Isaac.
Well, we'll start with a couple college football games, and then we'll ask the question we just talked about. But I think the first there's really not that many huge games this week. There's a couple great ones, but I think the first game that I want you guys to give your pick on is Vandy going down to Texas, and Texas is a 3.5-point favorite.
Who you want first, Guru?
You go for it, Will.
All right. My thoughts on Texas versus Vandy are Texas, to me, is the more talented team, player for player across the board. But at some point along the year, I think you have to start believing what they're putting on tape. And you got to stop betting on the potential that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Texas is who they've shown they are for the last few weeks, barely beating Mississippi State in a game that Mississippi State just gave away. I think that Vanderbilt is actually the better team, and I'm going to take Vandy in this game.
We were just saying before you called that how weird is it to just talk about that out loud?
It doesn't feel right at all. Like, even the words coming out of my mouth, I don't believe them. But I'm telling you, watching Texas play football, they are who they are at this point. You know, there's been enough tape put on film for them to for me to start believing that that's just who they are.
I fully agree with you.
Mr. President, your take on Vandy plus 3.5 at Texas.
Sir William is a very smart man. I would have told you at the beginning of the season, Arch Manning was a Heisman candidate, and Texas would be in prime position for the college football playoff. Now, I'll tell you that Diego Pavia is a prime Heisman candidate, and Vanderbilt is in great position for the college football playoff. Texas has been needing overtime to win the past couple of games. I saw that Diego Pavia had a hat this week during his press conference that said, "Two turned." So I think he's 2 turns for Texas, and I'm taking Vandy to win this game.
Very good. Very good, son. I wouldn't want you to have to spell that with your degree.
I will also say that this is the I think there's a big potential for Arch. I don't think this is going to happen, but this is a big risky moment for Arch to look really bad because their backup quarterback, like I said earlier, he's bounced around schools and he's started like 5 career games in college. I mean, this isn't Arkansas they're playing against. Like, he's not going to have a Heisman campaign when the backup quarterback comes in. But if he manages to come out and look good with their offense somehow, and they win that game, it's going to be a bad look for for Mr. Arch Manning.
Woo, well, hey, folks, the panel is all in a unanimous vote today. We got Vandy, as strange as that sounds, in Austin, Texas, plus 3.5. Guru, ask the next question of Mr. President.
All right, next game is going to be OU going to Tennessee. I know y'all have family bias in this situation, not trying to make your sister mad at you, but OU going to Tennessee, night game, Tennessee minus 2.5.
Last week, I made my sister mad by taking Ole Miss. I hated doing that to her. I can't do it 2 weeks in a row. I'm taking OU here. I don't think Tennessee is as good as their record shows.
All right. Will?
I'm with my brother on this one, Mr. President. It's hard to ever disagree with him, but especially right now. I don't think, and I know that Tennessee has played Alabama and they've played Georgia, but as weird as it is to say, I don't think they've played a defense as good as Oklahoma's yet. And I think that they're kind of in for a rude awakening. I think that defensive line for OU is as good as there is one in the country. And I'm taking OU in honor of my sister, Montana, to win. I'm taking OU over Tennessee in this game.
OU plus the 2.5 from Mr. President and Sir William Smee, the one and only. Isaac and I take the Tennessee Volunteers minus the 2.5, and Phee says it's the best pick of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Moving right on, we have Cincinnati plus the 10.5 at Utah. Sir William, what do you think?
Give me that pick one more time. I'm sorry.
Cincinnati plus 10.5 going to Utah.
Okay, got you.
2 one-loss teams.
My first reaction is I'm taking Utah. I'm a fan of, what is it, the Utes? Is that their is that
I
their
think so.
mascot?
Yep.
And for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going with Utah.
I like it.
Mr. President.
Cincinnati. 10.5 may sound like a lot of points to cover, but they cover. And just to spoil or give a preview ahead, maybe some foreshadowing, I think that some former Cincinnati players, one in particular who is dating some mega pop star, will also be very happy this weekend.
Oh goodness! All right, I know I gave you guys a heads up for this one, but I'm very intrigued to see what you say. But I want to know, of all these teams that are in the conversation for the college football playoff right now, I need you guys to tell me who your number one pick for the biggest fraud in college football is. We'll start with Drew.
Drew, we have Georgia Tech, the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech that beat Clemson early on a roll. Sir Isaac, yes or no, Mr. President, is Georgia Tech a fraud or not?
Georgia Tech's a fraud, and I'll take it one step further. They used to call it the Power 5 conferences, and then the Pac-12 fell apart. Now they call it the Power 4 conferences. Well, I'm here to tell you it's really a Power 3 conference. ACC, the whole conference is a fraud. Georgia Tech, fraud. Miami, fraud. Louisville, fraud. Virginia, fraud. But my biggest fraud is Georgia Tech, who will lose to Georgia at the end of the season.
I like it. I like it a lot, and I 100% agree. Will, what about you?
All right. I love this question, first of all. It's fun thinking about, what teams you pick as maybe your college football playoff favorites and who you think might win it. But flipping the question upside down and saying who's the biggest fraud that's in that conversation is a fun way to look at it. This is kind of it's weird for me to pick this because I actually really like this team. And my reasoning behind who I'm picking is I think they're a year away. So I'm going to give it away with a little quack, quack, quack. I'm picking the Oregon Ducks as my biggest fraud. And it's not for any other reason than I think that Dante Moore is actually going to be a great quarterback. I just think he's a year away from winning the big games. I would put no stock in them going all the way. And that's what I mean by them being a fraud. Not that they're a good team, but I don't see them winning a championship there this year just because they're a year away with the quarterback.
I like it. We actually were started talking about last week. I was raising the concern that maybe Oregon was a little bit behind where everyone thought because there was that big Oregon-Penn State game. When that game happened, everyone thought that was one of the biggest games of the year because Penn State was supposed to be a shoe-in contender. Yes. Judging by how Penn State has looked after that game, it's made me question Oregon a little bit more, and then Oregon looked a little questionable last week too against a terrible Wisconsin team. But I 100% agree with you. I think that their win-loss still looks really good, but no, I think they're a little bit fraudulent too.
I completely agree. I mean, to me, the only good team they've played all year or great team is Indiana.
Yep.
And I do think Indiana's for real. And Indiana won that game. I wouldn't say it was, a blowout or not close, but it wasn't even, the score was 30-20. I don't even know if it was that close. And like you said, that Oregon beat Penn State, but that was a double overtime game, and they've played nobody else all year long. I do think that they're going to be in this conversation next year. I love the jerseys. I love their coach. I just think they're a year away, so they're my fraud.
I like it. I keep trying to get – unfortunately, Vegas is smart at what they do, which makes me really frustrated, but I keep waiting on them to make BYU a huge favorite in a game so I can just absolutely hammer the other team. And Vegas continues to – they understand that BYU is playing all these sketchy close games, and they keep making the lines like not fun to me, so I keep staying away from it. But I've been waiting all year, and I think they played like – oh, gosh.
Utah.
It was Utah and Iowa State that I was sitting there waiting on like it to be like a huge line, and both times they made. I think Iowa State was even the favorite. It was like they.
And Sir Isaac had the trap game too. Let me ask you something, Mr. President. With Notre Dame starting at 0-2, what do you think their chances are of going 10-2 and making the college football 12-team playoff?
I think they have pretty good chances. I'm not personally the biggest Notre Dame fan. I think that year after year they are overrated, especially in the early rankings. But unfortunately, I think that their schedule, the remaining schedule, doesn't present them a big enough challenge. I think they'll likely go 10-2 and make some at-large bid in a college football playoff.
I hate to agree, but I think I agree too. Although they feel like they're just destined to lose. You know, it's like them and A&M. It feels like the two this year. It's like you just feel like they choke. They find a way to choke. But I guess we can go ahead and move on to NFL. And there's really both college and NFL kind of had not just a ton of great games this weekend, but I got two for you guys, two good games in the NFL. Will, we'll start with you as the Steelers fan. But the first pick I got is the Colts going to Pittsburgh, and the Colts are a 3.5-point favorite in that game.
Well, Isaac, you disappointed me last week with your free money sitting on the ground, and you just picked it up. But it turns out that money was actually just Chuck E. Cheese coupons. And we can't go to Chuck E. Cheese anymore, Isaac, so those were worthless.
We spent a lot of time at Chuck E. Cheese's.
I would actually go tonight. If anyone's down, y'all let me know. I'm a little bit worried about this game, I'll be honest. I don't think that the Steelers need to be going to 4-4. And I think they know that as well. I think they know the defense needs to step up, and this is not the kind of team that is like a get-right game. It's the exact opposite. But I will say it presents a great opportunity for us to really lean into who we are at our core, which is a team that wants to run the ball and possess the ball, play the possession game, and work the clock. And I think I heard the great Mina Kimes on ESPN talking today about grinding the Colts to dust being the way that the Steelers could win this game by just running the ball 3.5 yards at a time and getting that running the clock and holding on to the ball game. So that's going to be my hope, and that's what I'm going to pick, is that the Steelers are going to make this a lower scoring game. They haven't forced a turnover in 2 or 3 games. I think they're going to force at least one. And I think they're going to run the ball and run the clock. It's going to be lower scoring, and I'm picking the Steelers.
I like it.
He has the Steelers plus the 3.5. I like it myself. What do you think, Mr. President? Do you have another game, Isaac? You want him to go ahead and give that his pick on that one also?
He can give that one, and then he can go ahead and say what he feels about Chiefs going to Buffalo, and Kansas City is a 2.5-point favorite in that game.
All right, son, you got the Steelers plus 3.5 against the Colts. You got the Chiefs at Bills. Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites. Go right ahead and get after it.
I think the Colts are legitimately good. I think that Shane Steichen, former Eagles offensive coordinator during the 2022 season and Super Bowl run, is a good coach, a very smart play caller, and I think the Colts do have a legitimate shot in the AFC this year. That all being said, I love my brother, and I think the Steelers desperately need this win. As crazy as it might sound, the AFC North is still open, and if the Ravens win tonight, which they're likely to do, and Lamar can return to form, the Ravens are still in a contention for that division. So the Steelers need a win. I believe they'll get it over the Colts this weekend. Now for the Kansas City-Buffalo game, this is the first game and only game of the NFL slate as of now that I'm taking the favorite to win and to cover. As I previewed earlier, I think Travis Kelce, the Cincinnati alum, will be very happy this weekend, and I think they will beat Buffalo convincingly.
Wow, right there. You got to. He loves the Chiefs going to the Bills because of Mr. Kelce.
They look scary right now.
They
really
do look scary, folks. They do look scary. Hey, what do you think when you say Mike Tomlin's going to lose back-to-back home games as favorites?
Well, I'm going to do the Steelers a favor this week, and they can go ahead and thank me after Sunday. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off my stance that I've had forever, which is the worst idea in the world, because this will be the game that they do the right thing.
Torture, folks. The boys used to torture.
But I like the Colts minus 3.5, which means it's an absolute lock of the century on the Steelers. But I keep thinking that the Steelers defense, it's like they've got the people there, and I just keep thinking that they're going to figure it out and step up. And every single week I'm like, okay, this is the week, and they just keep giving
Folks,
us tons
it's
of
just
points.
like Sir William said about Texas is who they are. And Pittsburgh's defense, which I, by the way, drafted in my fantasy football and had to cut them.
You drafted them like round 4.
I know. It makes me look real bad. But they are what they are. They are what they are on defense, and I hope they can turn it around. It's just strange for me to say Mike Tomlin back-to-back home dog, and you're picking the Colts.
I know, and I'm doing it just for the Steelers.
Bet on Tomlin back-to-back, kind of like Casey losing at home back-to-back. If you do, just blame Phee, because normally you're just going to cash your ticket, and then you can say thank you.
All right, Will, Chiefs and Bills. What do you got?
I'm going to keep it simple here. I have no faith whatsoever in the world that the Bills could beat the Chiefs if this were a playoff game. But for whatever reason in the regular season, I'd have to go back and check the record, but I feel like based off memory, the Bills have had the Chiefs' number as of late in more of those games than not. I'm going to take the Bills in this game and hope that I'm right.
I like it. That's one of the most fun storyline games of the year so far. So I'm just excited that we get to watch it. Normally, I would agree, because you're right. It does feel like outside of the playoffs, Josh Allen just comes in and goes crazy in those games. And
remember, guys, the Bills beat the Chiefs at home during the regular season. They just can't beat them during the playoffs.
I think this year I've been switching up my Chiefs the trends a little bit, because we had the Raiders game, the Vegas Raiders, that normally you said, and it's true, that game is always like a weird little trap game for the Chiefs. And I was like, this year it feels like their offense is just they look so much better, and they're not doing this thing where they're winning games by 3 every single week and just sneak into a crazy good record. They're actually like looking dominant, and you have to score a ton of points to keep up with them. Buffalo's defense has looked really bad, and I think it could be an absolute shootout, but I think I'm going with the Chiefs to cover in that game too.
Chiefs right there. All right, last one on the slate would be the Detroit Lions minus the 9.5 against the Minnesota Vikings. Mr. President, your thoughts?
I'm taking Detroit to cover. I believe that even though they have a injured defense, the fact that they play so much man coverage, they still have faith in those, next man up mentality, and they'll have a good plan to cover Addison and Jefferson. And whoever plays quarterback for Minnesota, I think that it's going to be a shootout, and they're going to need to win a shootout against Jared Goff. I think those backup next man up mentality in the secondary of the Lions will make a play when time comes.
Will, what you got in that one?
Well, it's funny that Drew said whoever plays quarterback for the Vikings, because I actually just got off the phone with the front office, and they were asking if he was free this weekend to play quarterback. So, Drew, do you know if you'll be available?
Always available.
The best ability, folks, is availability, and these boys are available.
I am also taking Detroit, and my thought process is if Dan Campbell isn't scared to take a bite out of someone's kneecap, he certainly isn't scared to step on their throat when they're down. I think that it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it'll be pretty. I don't think it'll be close, and I'm taking the Lions.
The Lions are just covering machines. We've been saying it all year long. They just whoop people. And does anyone actually know who is playing quarterback? Is it J.J. McCarthy, or does no one know?
I thought that it was J.J. McCarthy if he was available to go. I think Carson Wentz is definitely out for the year.
Yeah, I think he may be like. I thought he may have. Like, I didn't know that he survived.
I think the injury report on today is that he's questionable.
Carson Wentz?
No,
I was about to say, I literally thought that we were like starting to make funeral preparations.
No, JJ. I think JJ will probably play, but I don't know that. But if he doesn't, the 9.5's easy anyway, folks. The two things Phee's been telling you about since day one of this season on Phee Sportsball, Sir Isaac the Guru, is you just play the Cowboys over and you just play the Lions every week. When you look up at the end of the year, you're 12-4, 11-5 against the spread. And the Cowboys, you like them to be 13-14-2.
Yeah, you may not lose a Cowboys over unless Vegas finally starts giving in and making the line at 60. But they don't seem to be doing it yet.
It's not in their nature to have over-unders in the pros anywhere between 38 and 49 or 50. A big line's 53.5.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. President, we've got some more time if you can stay on the line. I know you're a busy man. Sir William, we've got all the time you need, but I don't want to hold you up.
I want to ask y'all real quick for a bonus NBA pick.
Oh, I like it.
The league has started up and my Warriors are playing well and Drew's 76ers are rolling right now.
Give me Terry Rozier's unders.
Winner, surprise.
Smarty had a party. Nobody came to Smarty.
I love it. So here in about 6 minutes, the Heat play the Spurs. The Heat are 3-1. The Spurs are 4-0 and have been beating everyone like a drum. Wemby is on an absolute tear. The Heat have played really well, but Tyler Hero's out, to my understanding. The Spurs are favored by 5.5. Mr. Guru, would you like to take a swing at this?
Yeah, I think that it seems to me like one of the kind of bright spots for the Heat has been, unfortunately for Arkansas's sake, Khalil Ware, because we just apparently, I don't really know what happened in that recruiting cycle, but whatever. He has surprised me, and I think he's been a really good spot for them. But I think that Wemby, all these conspiracy theories that float around the United States about like seeing UFOs and all that stuff. But I'm starting to wonder why the biggest thing that everyone's talking about isn't this guy that plays for the Spurs as evidence that aliens exist, because this man is crazy and he's just doing whatever the heck he wants in every single game. And I think that, especially if Tyler Hero's out, I did not know that, but if he's out, I'm going to go with the Spurs. I think that good old up-and-comer Khalil Ware looks up at the lights of the stadium and sees Wemby standing above him and doesn't really know what to do with himself. So I like the Spurs in that game.
Love it. See?
Phil take the Spurs and the 7-foot alien, 7'5" alien, because I'm here to tell you the boy can shoot the threes. He got a skill set that's unbelievable. He understands to track the ball as far as rebound is concerned. Phenomenal dribbler for his size. I think he's probably the best basketball player, size-wise and athleticism, I've ever seen.
It's really incredible. Also,
he's not Minutes the Spook, I can tell you that.
he gets to join the rare company of people who are constantly listed as smaller than they are, which is very rare in sports. But so far the two most famous ones to my knowledge is Derrick Henry, because they've just been lying to us for years, saying this man's like 6'2", and he's as tall as any single offensive lineman on the field. And Kevin Durant has been another famous one who's always listed at like 6'9", 6'10", and everyone in the league says he's a 7-footer. Apparently, it came out this year that they've been saying they had him Wembanyama listed at like 7'2" or 7'3", and then they came out and said that he actually has not wanted to be listed as tall as he is because he wants to be like, doesn't want to be known like for that. But apparently he's like all of 7'5", or even taller than that. So he gets to join that rare company of people that they say is smaller than they are. But no, he's insane. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Absolutely. Drew, do you want to pick the team?
Sure, Sir William. I'll pick the Spurs. I think that if they remade Men in Black, they would have a joke where Wemby is an alien, because maybe he actually is. And I think I'll offer my final thoughts here, because unfortunately I have to run. The Vikings front office is calling. I need to give them a call back. My final thoughts for this weekend. Last weekend I said that the Jets would get their first win of the season. They did. There was never a doubt with that game. This weekend I'll say, bet the house that the Eagles don't lose a game this weekend. That's all I've got. DJ Edgecombe for Rookie of the Year. Thank you so much for having me on. Dad, Guru, nice talking to you, Sir William. Hope y'all have a great rest of your episode. I'd love to join again if I had the opportunity.
Every week, son. We look forward to the segment. I do appreciate you and love you. Go 76ers.
Thanks, Daddy. All right. Bye-bye.
I do think we do need to give
props to the Mr. President who said that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
he did, and I forgot about it.
I did not forget about it.
He texted me Sunday.
First thing I thought about.
I mean, I like legit missed that. I don't even remember like hearing it, and he texted me Sunday, and he was like, he said that he had called that, and I mean, what a stinking call that was.
He's fantastic. 43-42, as he says, it never was in doubt. He called it, and by the way, Sir William also told me, he told me that his pick last week didn't go so well as Mr. President's.
I thought about giving myself a self-imposed week-long suspension from the show after how bad my picks were. But
if that was the case, I'd never be on this show again.
I've also got to run, but I wanted to ask a trivia question to y'all about this Heat and Spurs game. I would like to ask closest number wins between the two of you. How many blocks has Wembanyama had in his last 3 games combined?
3 games?
3 games.
21.
I'm going to go with 19.
And the winner is the Guru. The answer is 18 blocks in his past 3 games.
To be fair, I had a little bit of leg up there because I know in one he had 9 and I know in one he had 5. So I was trying to get the.
I had no idea, but I figured with the question he had to be a 3 game span of 7 or more. But hey, 18's that's freaky right there.
It's insane. He's so
it's
insane.
Pretty crazy. At one point last game, he had 2 blocks and 1 possession that were both in itself amazing blocks. Then he got the ball and dribbled up and shot from
the logo.
I wouldn't say logo, but almost the logo, and splashed a 3. And I think the league was texting each other at that point like, we might be in trouble.
Just imagine, and I don't even want to like even say this out loud, but because it seems like most of the case it's unavoidable for players. But just imagine if he goes the rest of his career being like generally really healthy and like doesn't get a big injury that takes a season away from him. I mean, he's gonna be there's gonna be records like what Steph has done for shooting. There's gonna be records like that he sets that is gonna be like there's no one's they aren't gonna be touched.
Absolutely.
He may mess around and mess with Steph's records. I'm kidding, he won't do that. But
No, he won't do that. As
don't disrespect me.
don't be disrespecting Will's man that obviously got his shooting technique from Phee. But anyway,
That's true. Hey, it's been a pleasure again, you guys. Hopefully my picks go better this week. Go Warriors tonight against the Bucks. Here we go, Steelers against the Colts. Love you guys. Hope you have a great rest of the show.
thank you,
See
Sir
you,
William. Love you.
See ya.
There you go, folks, right there, all over the United States. Some of the dadgum finest analysts you'll ever see. They know what they're talking about, and it doesn't matter the sport, folks. They can evaluate talent like nobody's business. They've been in the business. I'm telling you, when you've trained Olympic teams from Australia and several pros and college, and you've got GMs in your ear talking about whether or not to draft folks, you know Sir William knows what he's talking about.
I look forward to, yes, he does. He 100% does. He's my favorite person to talk about basketball with. When, like, me and him will nerd out over Arkansas basketball and everything. And I look forward to hopefully getting him on, like, physically on the show at one point during the basketball season, because I would love to just sit here and talk about. We were texting back and forth about Arkansas basketball the other day for like an hour. I mean, it's
he is excited.
Yes, and he definitely knows. I mean, he knows way more than me. He knows way more than most people that I know. So I love talking with him about sports.
Well, you guarantee that if my oldest son, Mr. President, he knows everything that he wants to know about.
Absolutely.
It don't take him long, and he has got a love for sports. And, of course, he only did the hurdles 1 year, senior year, and he came third in the dadgum conference meet. The boy can run. He can jump. He's been in like 30 plays. But if he wants to know the information, it don't take him long. They used to go to play practice, and they'd give him his book, and at the next practice, he knew all of his lines, the ones before him and the ones after him. And all the adults would be standing there with the books. That's him.
Drew is because he's so humble, you people don't know it, but Drew is one of the most casual, like, jack of all trades people that I like know.
He's good at everything.
He can do everything, and
I
he
don't
doesn't
want him
act
messing
like
with
it.
electricity. And the boy used to drive. He was the safest driver around. Now I've driven with him in the past. He's got some Phee qualities now.
Well, that's part of living in big cities.
Living in America.
That's part of big cities. It's like a disease. You live in big cities. When I
Take the L train, Isaac.
When I visited Philly and we were taking Ubers around, these people.
Who are these people?
Listen.
I got folks delivering DoorDash and driving Ubers. You do know they'll have automated taxis, no drivers at all.
Well, I want no part of that. But apparently, I want no part of Ubers either, because these people drive. I mean, they're putting
you're the wrong dadgum sex allegedly for the Ubers. They tend to have the drivers having problems with the female drivers in some cases. And that's just allegedly, The Phee Network, we're just here for information.
I'm just talking about their driving abilities, but I mean, I get entertained by that stuff. I wouldn't call myself I'm not a daredevil, but I definitely don't mind the excitement of that. But we're sitting here driving around with these people in Philly, and they're like, no signal, just trusting other people to not smash into the back of them, weaving through lanes of traffic, and I'm literally just sitting in the backseat laughing. I'm just like, this is so fun. They're crazy. They're a different type of people.
Ubers. I guess Ubers have taken over cities from taxis now.
They're super common, and now the app and everything is so efficient that it's actually it's way better than taxis. I mean,
I used to take the limos in the big city, New York, Washington, and then, I had to go to the town cars. And then in the end, he was in the taxi. And before it's over, he was walking. Or they in the subway. You know that subway? It's 12-inch foot long.
That's true. Well, until they got sued because they were chipping people on half an inch.
Mm.
But so 11.5-inch foot long. But
again, folks, got to check the measuring tape.
But no, they're crazy, and no, it is super. They're way more common now. It's just, especially in big cities, they're so available. In if it was Fort Smith,
you know, drones are going to be delivering your food.
Well, they ain't going to be delivering me. So
Okay, well,
unless they got the strongest drone,
they got a big boy drone for big
well, I'd love to see that.
You got one the size of a bus, but the ones you got to really worry about from a strategic standpoint, military, is the smaller ones, the mosquitoes, the flies. They got those too, and you don't know whether they're real or whether they got the birds. They got them all.
Oh, I know they do.
Surveillance drones, I promise you, they do. Well, Sir Isaac the Guru, you want to go back to college pro? What do you want to do?
Well, I'll rattle through my picks real fast, but then we will move on to NFL because
don't you just
I don't want to take too much time. I love it. I love it.
I mean,
I'd rather do that.
Knowledgeable. I get an opportunity to spend. I mean, it's a phenomenal time for me.
I love it. I think that was the first time we did that. I thought that was a great idea, and I love doing it. But I'll get through these pretty.
Will chimed in a couple times. I want to make sure Drew's sounds good, but I'd like for Drew not to have to wait for me to tell him to talk.
Yeah.
Because he's a great conversationalist
too. I know.
With Will, and they just need to have the opportunity. Sooner or later, we'll have them some cameras in their house.
Zoom in,
and we'll have a good time that way.
Yeah.
But now, hey, I'm just thankful there can be a part with the phones, and so far most of the time they sound good.
I love it.
So, and I'm thankful for that. It is a great time for Phees Sportsball with Sir Isaac the Guru right here. Sir Isaac, college football, run through them.
I'll rattle through them because there's really not that many great games this week. My volume is going to be pretty low on picks, but I got Vandy. We already talked about this one a lot. Vandy plus 3.5 at Texas. We did not talk about this one, but I've got Georgia covering 7.5 at Florida. I would think after the firing, we said this last time when he was talking about losing his job, and then they came out and won that game. But I got Georgia covering 7.5 at Florida.
Used to be known as the world's greatest cocktail party, always played in Jacksonville, Florida. It's a neutral game, just like the Texas-Oklahoma game has always been in Dallas. You will find that Georgia normally, if they have the better team, wins big in those games. But Florida, they went a whole long stretch beating Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Georgia's dominance in college football is not – people talk about Herschel Walker, but they haven't had a whole lot of great teams before Kirby Smart.
No.
Florida has had some teams. They've had, between Emmitt Smith and Steve Spurrier, they had some athletes, but they had a running back. You probably don't know, but his name was Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor was phenomenal.
Are you sarcastically saying I wouldn't know Fred Taylor?
No,
I definitely know Fred Taylor.
Oh, do you?
Absolutely.
Well, I thought you were 30. I don't know how old Fred is.
He's older than me.
Well, I hope so.
But I know the name.
I hope he's probably 50.
Yeah, nope.
I'm
or
61.
over.
I think that you don't be acting foolish that Fred Taylor, because I figured Fred was retired before he was 8.
He was a decently popular name in the NFL. That's what I know him from.
Freddie Taylor, one and only, the captain of the ship, the nickel and dimer.
I know him. We're good buds. Me and Fred Taylor are close. I got this one's kind of gonna be a random one to throw in there, but I got South Carolina actually covering 12.5 at Ole Miss.
He hates Ole Miss.
I picked him last week. And first of all, you're right. I do. I do hate him, but I did pick him last week. But we keep talking about these things, and we both watched. You've watched, obviously just infinitely more football than me because of your age. But we both keep talking about these things that just seem to be inevitable. And we talked about A&M, we talked about Notre Dame, and right now we're in the zone of the season where Ole Miss, they're going to lose a game at some point.
One.
Yeah, and I think they're going to lose another because they're going to end up being a 2-loss team on the fringe of the playoff discussion. It's going to happen.
They're not going to win. They're not going to lose to South Carolina.
They're not.
South Carolina just got their dadgum just absolutely heartbroken against Alabama, and they're not going to be healthy the week after Alabama.
They're not going to lose to them, but they are going to. 12.5 is a big spread. And I also remember
Ole Miss by 21. I
remember their coach last year. They were playing really well towards the end of the season.
He's a good coach.
Their quarterback is a difference maker. I like them plus 12.5, but no, I don't think they're going to win.
You know, Shane Beamer's father was at Virginia Tech for over 30 years. I mean, he's the Frank Broyles of the Virginia Tech. Is the Beamer.
I did not know that.
Yes, he absolutely was for so long, and everybody thought when he left or retired that's where his son would go back to. But he took a bigger job at South Carolina. South Carolina, people don't know, they have sellouts every week of 90, 100,000 people. It's kind of like an Arkansas school. South Carolina football, you don't hear about other schools there except Clemson, and they always have that end-of-year rivalry right there. So I just don't see I think Ole Miss will beat South Carolina by 21. South Carolina had their hearts broken. Just broke their hearts last week against Alabama, and they've got to be hurt.
Yeah,
check the against the spread the week after teams play Alabama and see what they are.
I'm not passionately for it, but I got them to cover.
Well, you just disagree with Phee.
But sometimes I'll stand on the table and say you're wrong. This isn't one of those. But I did this a few weeks ago, and I'm going to go back to it. I've got Purdue plus 21.5 against Michigan. This time it's more because Michigan just doesn't seem like they're covering. They're winning these games. They run the ball a lot, and it just seems like they keep winning by 14 or 17 or 20. But I looked at their previous games, and it just doesn't seem like they're just blowing people out. So I'm going to go with Purdue. I am a Barry Odom fan. I think he's a good coach. They have not done well. They burned me a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to go with them to cover 21.5. Then we had OU and Tennessee. I love Tennessee minus 2.5. And then the last one is I'm taking Utah. I said this a few weeks ago too with the Tennessee night games. I've watched Utah play some night games at home. Those fans can get after it at home too. That's a scary place to play. I've seen them beat a lot of teams they should not beat the past few years. And Cincinnati right now is a one-loss team. They've looked pretty good. There's been a couple games I've picked against them. They've proved me wrong. But for this line to be 10.5 kind of tells you how the people who know what they're talking about feel about Cincinnati. And I like Utah to cover 10.5 at home. But that's all my picks for the week.
Again, folks, Utah at home, the Utes, more than a 10 points. That's 10.5. Both our special guests picked Cincinnati plus the 10.5. That is not a game that I would play. If I did, I believe I would play Cincinnati plus the 10.5. But again, I like the Ole Miss Rebels opposite Isaac. And I do like opposite of my my two kids that I do like this week. Tennessee minus 2.5.
I love that one too.
At OU. So there's your two picks from Phee from college. That I'll have Tennessee against OU, and I will then go with back in the saddle again. I like it. Tennessee and Ole Miss.
How do you feel about, we didn't bring this one up, but real quick, how do you feel about Miami versus SMU?
I think Miami's going to beat the snot out of LSU.
All right.
What's the line?
I think it's like, let me look so I don't make stuff up. SMU's at home. They've looked sketchy, but Miami obviously.
They won last week
10.5.
12.
Miami minus
10.5 at SMU.
At SMU.
Oh, 10.5, huh? I'd like it a lot better at 8.5. I don't think I'd play that game.
I'm not either, but that's kind of an opportunity for Miami to either put their foot back down on the pedal and let everyone know that it was just a bad game, or everyone be like, "Uh-oh, do we have another fraud?"
Well, Rhett Lashley beats Miami in that week ACC.
They just lost to Wake Forest.
I know.
That was crazy.
I know. 13-12, and I think you had Wake. by the
No,
way?
I had Smew.
Oh, yes, you.
Oh, I was heavy on Smew.
Heavy on the Smew. I saw it was 1984, the old Pony Express in Dallas, Texas, back the old Texas Stadium where they had the roof cut out in the thing. So they said that God's favorite team was the Cowboys, so they cut a hole in the roof and let him be able to watch down. I'm not so certain that that's factual, but that is what the joke was. But anyway, Arkansas played, Eric Dickerson, Craig James, Lance. They had them all, and we had them beat. Pass interference against the Hogs broke our heart, and they changed the NCAA rule from that point on in college, and I hope they'll change it back. It used to be the same as the NFL. It was wherever the interference was, is that where the ball moved to.
Mm-hmm.
And so in college, it was just 15 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So back in '84. Now, what is it today?
I think it's still the 15 yards.
15 yards.
Unless
They changed so many rules in football that Phee doesn't keep up with them like he used to.
I'm coming up with this on the spot. I actually don't hate that because in my brain, you would think college, you've got more inexperienced, less talented corners. It would probably be a really harsh penalty. Like in the NFL, those guys are the best of the best. They're there for a reason. So when you throw the ball down at the 2-yard line and it's a pass interference, you suffer the consequences. In college, it seems like that could get a little bit crazy because even in the NFL, all those underthrown balls, people trying to come back to him, pass interference. I feel like in college that would be crazy. But I don't know. It is crazy that the rules are different.
Check that game out in that pass interference call. It changed college football that day. Phee, of course, was there.
100 years ago.
1984, cousin. I was 20.
All right. Let's go to the NFL.
NFL, that's the National Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's an NFL recap time with Sir Isaac the Guru. Hit it, Isaac.
We need to record that and just put it on loop.
I can do it all day long.
So the Chargers on Thursday night, we're here. They ended up murdering the Vikings. They also murdered Carson Wentz in the process.
2-0. Phee was 2-0 last Thursday.
Yeah, we had the over in that game, and it definitely was a.
What about tonight?
Tonight
what's the line there? And don't tell me the score because Phee likes to go blind.
I will not. It was Ravens versus Dolphins in Miami. I believe it's in Miami. Ravens minus 7.5 with Lamar coming back.
At the Dolphins more than a touchdown? Damn. See, Vegas knows that the Ravens are better than 2 and 6. And in that division, I think they're going to actually either win the division or they got to win the division unless they just win out. I saw the next 4 or 5 games. I said, well, they'll be 7-6 or 6-7.
Yeah.
After that, they got to win. They can't lose but 2 more.
They snuck a win last week without Lamar. That was going to end up has a chance of
being always
a,
been a good backup for them.
It ends up being an important. You could look at the end of the year in that game. There's a chance that game could be a difference.
What's the over and under? Baltimore minus 7.5 against Miami on Thursday night. Over and under would be
51.5.
51.5. Okay, I will take the Dolphins plus the 7.5 and over the 51.5, ladies and gentlemen, for Phees special Thursday night football.
I like it. I had the pick that I was placing before we started the show is I bought a point with the Ravens. I took them minus 6.5.
Brilliant. That's what I'd have done.
And then I put them. I took the over. I took Ravens minus 6.5 over 51.5, and then Derrick Henry to score a touchdown.
Again, King Henry. I tell you, what an athlete! What a running back out of Alabama, still doing it well after 30. And by the way, what is the score of that game, Sir Guru?
7-3 right now, Ravens.
7-3 Raiders in what quarter?
Beginning of the second quarter is just about to start.
Okay, they scored 10 in the first quarter, folks. You normally will score the most points in the second or fourth. Doesn't always play out that way, but 4 times 10, that's 40. It would be under 53.5. So he's taking the over still.
I like it. That's what I got too.
All right.
Both those defenses are abysmal. So.
Well, it's like Pittsburgh. Baltimore is known to play good defense. Pittsburgh is known to play great defense. Neither one of them can stop each other, much less the New York Jets. I mean, I think the Jets got 30 over both of them. Jamming at cricket. You know something about a penny, folks? It's two-faced, and it's not worth much. Go ahead, Isaac.
Well, I think kind of random thought. I think Justin Fields, you referenced the Jets. I think he's got a really good chance to perform better than he has in his career this week because they're on bye. So I think he's got a good chance to look better than he's ever looked.
Hey, he always dresses well.
Well,
hey, Interstate 55, Mr. Fields, nothing.
I think he'll look good this week, sitting at home on the couch. But
I really like his athleticism. I know he didn't do well at Chicago, but neither did Daniel Jones with the Giants. And I told him at the beginning of the year that Daniel Jones was a quality quarterback, athleticism, can make every throw. But I did not think he was going to have the year that he's having. And now he's a top 5 quarterback. I told Sir Isaac the Guru he's a top 15 quarterback, and he thought I was crazy then. Top 5?
I don't remember
Never
that.
saw that coming. Never saw that coming.
Top 5 is still a little
Way too
questionable.
I think
But
15's right.
15 is absolutely right.
Okay.
But also, the difference in them two is I feel like when he was at New York, he had games. I mean, he got a new contract there. Like, he had games where he showed that he could make all those throws and run. Like, he had moments or little stretches
Absolutely.
where you could see it. Justin Fields, and I liked him too coming into the NFL. I was very excited about him.
Ohio State boy.
You're just starting to compile 3 different teams, different weapons, different situations. You're starting to build this. It seems to be just what it is, and he just isn't. He's a really good runner. He's a very good athlete, but he just misses way too many easy throws. So I do hate it because I liked him too.
Folks, we said earlier, Texas is what Texas is.
Yep.
Pittsburgh's defense is what Pittsburgh's defense is. And Sir Isaac the Guru just told you what they say about you after 4 or 5 years in the league. You are what you are.
There's rare exceptions. I unfortunately don't think he's going to be one
It's
of them.
never everybody, but you're right.
Um,
You are what you are.
I hit
That's your
that-
game film.
I hit that little that Eagles, Bills, and Patriots money line parlay, which ended up being, it was just even money, but it made me feel good because I felt so strongly about it, and they all
Just dripping like honey, isn't he, folks? If you stay tuned to the Feast Me Network, Sir Isaac's just dripping with honey. That's a 3-team parlay that played even. You think they might have been some favorites?
they definitely were. Also, Sydney, our biggest chat supporter, she knows.
Sydney, baby. Hey, Sir Isaac the Guru talks a lot of trash about Australia, but one thing about it is he is always ahead of the curve.
I was going to say, she knows what she's talking about, saying I'm ahead of the curve. Just want to throw that out there. Got some support. But I always like to give her a shout out if she sends a chat.
Amen. Hey, by far the better half. I can't wait to spend some time with her. Can't wait, because I'm telling you what right now, she's got to know what she's getting into. This is one of the finest young men in the world, but he's just as stubborn as a bull.
No one's ever told me that before, so I don't appreciate that. But it's 14-3 Ravens, by the way, now.
14-3 Ravens. It jumps up to 17 total points of the over 53.5 for Phee. I don't think there's going to be a question that you're going to have a lot of points in that game.
I do too. And then let's see. This week, kind of the same as college. There's just not that many great games this week in the NFL.
He says it every week, folks. 3 weeks in a row, he's not happy with the NFL slate.
And it's
Not happy with them.
It's unfortunate.
It's like 1 or 2 games a week that are showcase games. The rest of them, they're having 4 or 5 teams a week going on buys, which is hurting the competitive games. But you're wanting the week where, the New Orleans goes on a bye with Carolina going on a bye.
And there's too many bad teams this year. That's the thing. And all the teams that were...
It would be easier for you with the handicapping.
Well...
I mean, money line time
Pro
is there for
football
you.
is still Money line, yes, and that's actually why I have felt that way recently. Every week I've been doing little 2-team or 3-team money line parlays,
You
but
got to shift.
the spreads are. I don't like those because it's pro sports. I mean, the Titans will come out and win a game here in a week or two, and you'll be sitting there going like, "How the heck did that happen?" But that's just how it is. But this week, obviously, Chiefs and Bills, that's a blast. Everyone loves that
Great
matchup.
I'm gonna go to Niagara Falls. I've never been to Niagara Falls. I love water, love waterfalls. Been all over the Caribbean. I just love waterfalls, and man, I just never been to Niagara Falls. And I've been wanting to do it since I was 7.
My dad has talked a lot about it because he used to get his work would send him up there a lot, and I think he's seen it several times. He's talked about a lot of stuff up there, but he talked very highly of it, and he likes all the nature stuff too. So, but yeah, I would say it's definitely on my list of things that I want to see. So I'm right there with you.
You know, folks, what you might not know about some cities in our country, but based on if you watch the football teams, and they always try to paint Cleveland and Buffalo and St. Louis as smokestacks and working class folks that are just, I'm telling you, Cleveland is a great town. They got one of the best heart hospitals. The Cleveland Clinic is world renowned. Buffalo is, they've got great fans. But folks, Buffalo is absolutely gorgeous. Sir Isaac's father is telling you the truth. When it comes to nature up there, it's a whole lot more than smokestacks in a city with a bunch of row houses. But upstate New York is the real deal.
Yeah,
and in St. Louis, you got people just think of it as Budweiser plants everywhere and smokestacks. It is a gateway. They've got one of the best universities there with nothing but a law school and a medical school. They've got 6 of the top 8 healthcare systems right there located nationally out of St. Louis. You've got the National VA in St. Louis, a tremendous banking environment. And it's just, I think Buffalo, Cleveland, and St. Louis get bad raps countrywide because people think, oh, that's just the working class Browns or the Bills or of course, when you don't have a football team, they keep losing them in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So anyway, just a great opportunity. I want to go to the Niagara Falls, and I think Buffalo, they've got some crazy fans and crazy tailgating.
They do. They do have crazy fans. Also, I want to go to Buffalo just to try wings there. That's another. There was a level of like the Philly cheesesteak thing in Philly, but I kind of had a pretty good idea that it was just going to be like a solid sandwich, but nothing that much crazier than I've had. Wings are different because I complain all the time down here. No one takes pride in wings. Everyone has wings. No one cares to make them good wings. They're just wings down here are so weak. But I want to go, if the hype is real, I want to go somewhere where they actually like take ownership of, hey, we make good wings and have good ones. Because you just can't. They're hard to find here. That's one of those foods that I can make better than 99% of restaurants down here on a smoker. And that's not even saying that I've got a lot of talent.
No, I always would cook legs and thighs and wings and separate. I'll tell you, I can grill with some spices, with some chicken. But I'm gonna tell you, my son invites me over on Wednesday nights. His wife was out of town on a conference one week, and he had me go pick up Wingstop.
That's about the best we got.
And he ordered 2 separate, one dry rub and one wet. And I'm going to tell you what now, I was impressed.
They're good.
I was impressed.
Wingstop is good. That's, in my opinion, that's like the best we got. But even like where I get frustrated is all these like decent restaurants. They have wings. Shoot, Buffalo Wild Wings is literally called Buffalo Wild Wings. And I'm telling you right now, all they do is go buy the Tyson, no free ads, wings from Walmart, and they put them in a fryer. They're not good. But Wingstop is good. There's
a whole lot of wing places out there that aren't good. They don't have enough meat on them, and then if the ones that do, they want to charge $1.50 a wing. I can go buy that 40 wings for $8.
Yeah. Especially if you cut them yourself. If you.
Well, I ain't cutting them myself.
You say
I know you could do that with a back line course. You got to Phees Lacey. He doesn't like knives. He never likes blades around his hands.
That's fair. Hey, that's a fair philosophy.
I had a hand prick when I was about 4. It broke off my finger, blood squirted. I'd rather have 100 shots than one prick in the finger. And I don't like knives around me. I like these folks at chefs. I used to watch them when I was turning sick all the time. Man, they'd be moving all around. Every once in a while, 1 out of 100 shows, medic. And I'm thinking, shoot, give me a knife like that. They'd be in intensive care.
I'm working on my knife skills right now in the cooking universe, but no, those people are crazy.
You see him cutting the wings off the quarterhouse.
It's cheaper.
There you go. There's your sing. Hey, where is that super girl of his? Because I'm telling you right now, he'll be on a budget.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna be because of her. It'll be because of me. Probably.
That's what I'm talking about. He'll be on a budget. Don't worry about him saving money cutting wings. She'll be laughing upside your head.
She also doesn't like looking at the raw meat. So I'll be over there doing it.
Hey, folks, they just putting color, artificial color. You know, salmon, farm raised salmon is gray, and they make it pink. It's artificial flavor artificial coloring. It's crushing us.
We're going off on tangents today, so sorry for the viewers,
but it's a show.
I love it, but I was about to say this just made me think of this. I watched Survivor. I'm a big Survivor fan.
Oh my goodness.
And one of the rewards of the past few seasons has been they give them a few live chickens. They'll give them like 2 egg-laying hens and like 2 roosters.
I'd like to have those.
Well, the thing that's just killing me watching this dang show, as someone who would like love to play it. I mean, I'd love to. I don't even like apply, but I think I always have fantasies of I think I would do good on the show.
Mr. President wanted to be in. He would have been very good at Big Brother. I believe you would be a strong candidate for Survivor.
I would love it, but then they get these chickens. And they all go back to camp. These people, starving, legitimately starving, are sitting here like crying because they don't want to kill a chicken. They're like, I've never killed anything, I don't want to do it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you something right now. It drives me literally insane because I'm sitting here going, I would tell everyone, listen, you guys are about to think I'm insensitive, but can you, leave right now? And I'm about to wring this chicken's neck, and if you don't want to touch it, don't touch it. But I'm going to kill this chicken, and we're going to eat it, and you're not going to say a word about it. But they're sitting here crying, and this guy this year killed one. And they had this entire monologue. He was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. I was just like, these people, I'm not trying to sound like
weak.
I'm not trying to sound like a Southern country boy.
That's not. It's
people,
a shifting of culture.
Man, it's crazy.
It's this DEI stuff. It's these agendas. Again, animals, you just, oh no, hey, man, that's just not going to work with most girls. It's just not going to work.
And I think
now,
I would just literally tell them, I'll be like, listen, y'all go cry over here, and I'll have this thing killed, plucked, and on a dang skewer over this fire in 15 minutes.
My grandmother would have just said,
and then when it gets to that point, y'all are going to be over here begging me to have a chicken leg, and I'm going to say, are you sure? Do you know what I had to do?
You would be so kind, you would kill both the chickens and feed all of them.
I don't know.
He's got to try to win them over, if he's going to be a winner of Survivor. Let's have a movement, folks. Let's just go ahead and make sure that Sir Isaac the Guru gets an opportunity. We can't guarantee him a spot, but we can guarantee him an opportunity to try out for Survivor.
I'd honestly just like it for the diet. Lose a bunch of weight, not eating any food. Living in Fiji for a couple weeks. Why not? Sleeping on the ground, I don't care.
If you give Fiji and you give him some chickens, he'll eat plenty, and still you'll lose weight and look good.
And I'm going to tell you another thing.
Those shoulders, those arms, and that chest, Bobby, you lose 20 pounds out there in that dadgum island, out there eating coconuts. That's a natural laxative. So coconut oil is the best cooking oil.
But I'll tell you another thing that makes me laugh, too, watching that show is, again, starving, and they'll do reward challenges. All those people really want food, really bad. So that is a big reward. But I'm going to tell you right now, you give me a week without food and you give me a challenge and you throw a tray of barbecue, steak out there, there is nothing there's no human that exists that's stopping me from winning that dang food. It's impossible. You tell me if you win, if you do this, I don't care. My team can sit at the start line. I'll go do whatever I got to do, and I'm getting the dang food. That's another thing that's like, some of them people just can't show up when they say they're starving. I'm sitting here, you put a tray of food in front of me when I'm hungry, see if I don't beat everybody to get the food.
You're talking to an alpha male right here that kills chickens when he's hungry and tends to eat when he's been hungry for over a week. Again, I bet you there's more alpha males there. And remember, when you get a room of alpha males, sooner or later you realize who is the chief alpha.
I think I'd pretend like I wasn't just to win, but I don't believe that.
I think you'd look great and do well, and that would be fantastic for us to watch and actually be able to, pay attention to on a weekly basis.
Yeah, that'd be a blast.
Yeah,
It'd be a blast. And if I won $1
And
million,
plus, you do know now that they tape those shows a long time before they air them. So you'd be back here with Phee.
You got to sign
a lot of trash, and you wouldn't be able to tell them whether you won or not.
No, and it's amazing how good they do too. Like you can't like really find it on the internet or anything. If you can't find it on the internet, then someone's keeping their mouth shut pretty well, because you really can't find who wins. It's hard to. So they must have them sign some pretty intense
Those
NDAs.
non-disclosure fans are tough, but also probably the penalty is
death,
forfeiting the prize.
Oh, that's true. That would be.
So yeah, if you sign the contract to go on and read the details, I believe if you tell anybody that you won before it comes out, you will forfeit the prize.
I believe I wouldn't say anything then.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. Let's see. Let me pick a couple. We talked about Lions. We talked about Chiefs. What about the Texans versus the Broncos? The Texans are a 1.5 point favorite in that game.
I just play the Broncos.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
I think that's my. I just take the Broncos as my pick of the Sunday pick.
That game might be 6-3.
No, I think Denver's going to start scoring. My boy Dobbins is getting 100 yards a week and ain't scored 3 touchdowns all year. Hopefully he'll score 3 touchdowns in one game. I'm going to need him this week because Mr. President is putting it on me. As far as the fantasy's going, we'll talk about that in the next segment. But I can tell you one thing, Phee is just somehow, some way continuing to win. Last week started Lamar Jackson for 0 points. The tight end from Ferguson I was bragging about had 0 points, and Phee still scores 130.
I want to plug my ears, and I don't even want to.
I mean, I don't see how in the world it happens. All right, Saraz, you do know I like Detroit, and that is my play. Along with I'm telling you, I like the Bills.
You do?
I do.
All right.
I know.
I mean, that's a great game. It should be a great game.
Give me the Bills.
The Chiefs are
I'd
just
probably buy a half point if I were really playing it. I'd make it +3.
Yeah. The Chiefs are crazy right now just with their weapons. I'm going to keep
are.
rocking with them. Obviously, I'm a fan, but I'm going to keep betting on them. I think the Panthers might get curb stomped by the Packers. The Packers actually let me down a couple weeks ago against the Cardinals. Had too close of a game, but at home, it seems like Jordan Love at home plays really, really, really well. And after I watched them play against the Packers and how calm he looked in that game, just slinging it around, they got Christian Watson back, which is just a deep threat. Having that option out there. The Panthers at home are kind of frisky. Away, I think it's going to be an ugly one. So I got the Packers -13.5. Big spread.
Love that play. I love the play because the Packers are fixing on a roll. Them and Detroit are the class in a better division than people give them credit for.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the AFC North would be the best. Everybody's hurt and not playing well. It's really the NFC North that's the better of the two conferences. But I like Green Bay big in that game.
I do too.
Big. I don't think it'll be close. I think it's 38-10, something like that. But like you said, Carolina twice a year.
Yep.
And you lose those. Wouldn't you rather be 16-2 than 2-16 trying to, well, this is the week, Carolina. This is the week. I mean, Green Bay's the play there.
I'll tell you whose career is probably finally done as a backup after last week is Andy Dalton. And I like him, but, man, that dude looked like he just shouldn't be on the football field anymore last week. Oh, it was ugly.
He's a quality quarterback in the NFL. Never in the top, half, but always capable. Out of TCU, I think a good boy. Probably just, Joe Klein played 12 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
And as long as he can play, a little bit. But boy, he looked like he needed to been gone 2 years ago.
Yeah, which you're right. Great career, respectable quarterback. But, yeah, I think after last week I was like, well, it might be. Of course, if you keep giving the man a check, he's going to go sit on the bench somewhere.
Well, some people make enough money in today's age where they don't do that. Some people love the game. Some people just want to be around it. Some people don't have the same interest in family and anything else. Maybe, you just never know what the situation is. Maybe he's got a son or daughter that's needs him. You just don't know. But it didn't look like that the Andy Dalton needed to be gone. It was like watching Joe Namath sit on the sidelines for the L.A. Rams. We couldn't walk yet to wheel him out.
It was bad.
So that's a tough time.
Bad. Last one I'll give is Jacksonville, who I'm not even a huge fan of, is playing in Las Vegas. They're a 2.5-point favorite. Man, the Raiders are so bad. They do get Brock Bowers back this week, I think, but they're so bad. And I like Jacksonville minus 2.5. Don't feel good about it. So don't ask me too many questions or else I'll give up on it. But after I watched the Raiders play a couple games recently, I can't envision the Raiders playing well in a football game right now. So I'm kind of biased.
Well, let's just tell the truth. Jacksonville is the better football team, and the Raiders find ways to lose, and they're probably at this point thinking, they're liable to be. Jacksonville's the kind of team that some days they don't show up, but they got the better team.
Here's a question for you: Who are these NFL teams tanking for right now? Because I really don't know. I don't think there's normally that's they refer to it as the the Cooper Flag sweepstakes or whatever. I don't know who that guy is right now.
Well, for the last couple of years, it's been a strong quarterback.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to be a strong quarterback this year.
I don't think so either.
So that puts me in a thinking mode. And you asked me the question, and it took me longer than 10 seconds to tell you. That tells you where you are.
Yeah, because that's where I'm at too.
So you've got a Heisman Trophy dude with Ty Simpson that looks the part as being a professional quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what year he is.
Maybe he goes. They can go. Can he go as a junior? I think he's
junior. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be something else. But I think he's probably right now the best quarterback candidate that I've seen for the NFL.
I
got a lot of
the
quarterbacks in
Indiana
college.
quarterback more. I haven't watched him much, but everyone says he looks like when it's funny when the competition's lower in college, when you have guys that actually work through the progression and you notice them get to 1, 2, 3 and then make a decision. That's not super common in college, and everyone has said, again, I haven't watched it, but everyone has said that the Indiana quarterback is looks like that. So
I've seen him play twice, and not full games, but on series. He looked in that offense, which looked a lot like Oregon's offense.
Yeah.
They had just as good athletes as Oregon. I think their coach is the real deal, and I think Mr. President said about the Indianapolis coach.
Yeah.
He came from Philadelphia. Philadelphia looks the part now as far as a contender every year, and this man came over and took Indianapolis coach folks. Haven't been good for a long, long time.
No, and he was on the preseason hot seat list. He was one of the people that everyone's throwing out he could get fired mid-season. And look at him.
Look at him. I'm very impressed.
Me too. I didn't even see. Not saying that you should be able to be right every year, but normally you have a pool of teams that everyone kind of knows that these teams have the potential to be, contenders or like legitimate good teams this year in the NFL. If you would have gave me a 12-team list, Indianapolis was not making my list. I didn't see I didn't see that happening at all. But man, they look really, really good, really good, and I think it's cool. Honestly, I have no reason to dislike them. I think Daniel Jones is a cool story. Jonathan Taylor's a problem. They're fun to root for. The only problem is that I need them to lose to the Chiefs when that time comes. But no, they're fun.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that it'd be a real cool game for the Chiefs to play in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Buffalo and Baltimore might have something to do with it. And it's strange to say that about Baltimore still. We're still believers in Baltimore.
I know.
Their defense isn't any good, and they're 2-6.
I know. That's the Lamar effect.
Again, it's sometimes Phees just stubborn as Sir Isaac the Guru.
I made someone laugh earlier today. They made a comment about Lamar needs to just pretend like all these games are playoff games, and I was like, no, he doesn't, because he loses playoff games. He needs to pretend like it's regular season, and they just keep doing what they're doing. But they were like, man, these are all like win or losses. These are all like playoff games. I was like, you better not say that, because if Lamar envisions it as a playoff game, they're going to be out of luck, because that man's got PTSD from running into Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes every single year of his career.
Man, what an athlete.
He really is.
What an athlete. With Petrino, and never was given the credit for his arm.
No.
It reminds me of the Michael Penix boy. He does not get the credit for his arm and the velocity that comes out of his hands. And people don't, I know that they're rookies, and people aren't going to be fans with them. But I'd look at Michael Penix and tell you he's going to be a Steve Young.
Yeah, I still think if you line up all the quarterbacks in the league and do an accuracy test, he probably still doesn't crack, the top.
He doesn't.
Quarter, top
Michael
third.
Vick didn't either.
But I was going to say, he did what Michael Vick did, which is he has arm talent, and he's figured out how to pair his athleticism with the arm talent, which a lot of guys have that and they never can put it together. He uses his athleticism to make the little side arms or the whatever, and yeah, he zips it, but that's all he's got to do, really. Hopefully he continues to play well, and I wouldn't mind if he wins the Super Bowl. I wish that he'd go to the Chiefs and be a backup and win a Super Bowl, but no, he's an athlete for sure.
Remember, folks, before we leave the NFL to go to fantasy, just remember, over if Dallas plays.
Dallas over every week.
Every week. Sir Isaac the Guru, fantastic segments with college and the NFL in some what I would call some pretty average games besides two of them.
Yeah.
Then we will go right now to your favorite segment. It's Fantasy Football with Phee and Sir Isaac the Guru.
It's starting to not be my favorite segment anymore.
6 and 2.
I
6
love
and 2.
fantasy
I am
football.
6 and 2. Bum.
I just, I can't share all my thoughts because there's just some things this year that are making me mad, and I have people that I care about that I don't want to step on their toes, but it's been a rough season. And especially a lot of people don't even probably look at other matchups in the league when they're losing, and I keep watching other matchups and seeing
He's
that
ate up with it, folks.
seeing that I'd be
it.
beating 6 of the 8 teams in the league every single week, and yet I keep playing the people. Now, last week, I will say, hand up, last week was the first week in a while that I actually had a really bad week. Would have lost, shouldn't have won. The difference is I should be 5-2 in losing that game. Yeah. But instead, I'm sitting here trying to scrap for a playoff spot, but I'm just done. I'm done.
You're done in my league.
My season's in shambles. I'm still undefeated in my biggest money league.
There you go. Well,
I'm going to find a way to lose it, too.
What league is it that you are have to wear the dress?
It's that
to
one.
play golf. Okay,
It's
so
that
you went from worst to first.
So we've done the league for I think 4 years now, and I think I finished second, third, last, and then now I'm undefeated this year. It was kind of a weird year. I had a bunch of injuries last year. Couldn't do anything about it. It happens. But no, I'm not even just trying to be negative. I'll find a way to lose. But right now, I'm undefeated, and I'm outscoring the next highest scoring team's like 200 points. I mean, it's not even close. I'm killing people. But my buddy in that league was texting me the other day, being like, "Man, you're gonna win the whole thing," and I was like, "Nah, don't count me out."
I don't think he's learned yet. You don't speak negative like that.
I just
accept the blessings and the good things. You don't see saying, I'm going to lose, I'll find a way to lose, Because guess what? You go to...
You're right.
You go to Pennsylvania, what happens? The state goes 0 for 4. You know?
No, you're right, but it's just I'm
cricket.
speaking from experience, and
Let's change that,
it feels like I know better.
Yeah.
But hey, I was at the Arkansas. This is breaking news.
I
physically attended the Arkansas versus oh my goodness gracious, Cincy exhibition basketball game.
All right, Cincinnati at Arkansas.
Yep, physically attended that game, and we
won.
Yeah. Now, it could be that it's an exception because it was an exhibition that my disease did not ruin.
Another way to look at it in a negative tone.
But we won a game that I was at. It was crazy.
I expected a lot more of you. Start speaking that.
And I'm going to the Arkansas versus Southern, the first basketball game of the year, official basketball game on Monday. So we'll see if we can win that one too. But yeah, no, I don't know if we broke the curse. I don't know what happened, but we won a game.
Break it, baby, break it.
We won it.
So excited. What do you think about the talent at the University of Arkansas basketball?
Man, I'll tell you what.
I do like 3 of them.
We need a whole new show for this because I could talk about this for later. I could literally talk about it for hours. But I think our freshmen are right now. The thing about exhibitions, and we got so many fans. I got friends that do this too. I've been chewing them out in a group message for 2 weeks. People overreact to exhibitions. I remember a few seasons ago we got beat by Texas in an exhibition by like 30 points. We ended up making it to like the Sweet 16 that year. We beat Purdue and Kansas in years, and the not looked as good. I mean, they don't mean anything. All you can take from exhibitions, in my opinion, is just a few things. One, you get the chance to see like the dudes you got and the talent they have. Whether they play together to where it results in a win or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care. We could have lost that game by 20. I wouldn't have cared. Like, dead serious. And that's coming from someone who, like, you've said it. I mean, emotionally, I'm a roller coaster with sports. I care a ton. We could have lost the game, and I wouldn't have cared. But you get to watch the pieces you got. And then another thing that I've loved seeing from us, even in just exhibitions, is the energy has been extremely high. The Memphis game was a blast. That needs to be, and I know there's a history behind it, even all the way. It goes back to when Cal was at Memphis, and he didn't want that to be a series. That needs to be a in the season series every single year. That game felt like we were watching March Madness. That was an intense basketball game.
It was a great game for so many years.
And
people don't know how good the history of Memphis is and Memphis State because it was Memphis State.
This game was, I mean, again, exhibition didn't matter. These boys were diving on the floor, talking trash.
Baby.
Well, Arkansas was too. It was just the
Arkansas's got 3 of them over there. That's why they was coming home.
But
no, talking about Arkansas had 3 Memphis boys at one time. That got Todd Day and 2 other ones.
Billy Richmond's from Memphis now.
Some Bowens boy, I can't think who is.
Billy Richmond on our team. Yeah. He's a sophomore. But no, the exhibitions have been fun. I think the freshmen, yes.
I like it.
The freshmen are very impressive. I think that if I'm trying to pick just a couple things about both of them that actually I think is more like will carry out through their season because I just think it's who they are. Darius Acuff is our freshman point guard. He looks to me like the type of point guard who kind of makes the game go at his speed, which is like a insane, like important thing for point guards. And these guys
control the tempo of the game.
Yes, and you can have these guys who can shoot it and score 30 a game. It don't matter if you can't control the tempo, and if you allow people to speed you up or slow you down, it'll never work for you. He is as young as he is, and he looks like he has. There was a moment in the beginning of the Memphis game where they were pressing us super hard, trying to speed him up, and it worked. But by the halfway through the first half, you could tell either the coaches got him back in it or he just settled in. But he got back into the just chill, control the pace. He runs the pick and roll extremely well. There's also not anyone that can stand in front of him. He's built like a bulldog. He's like 6'4", 6'3", but he's jacked, big like frame. And when you combine that with speed and handles, when you get that shoulder past a defender, you get that elbow past a defender, they ain't get back in front of you when you're that strong. So he's got that combination and he can finish with both hands. I mean, great passer. He's going to be super good. And then Malik Thomas is another one that I love. He seems to have a confidence that he's got yelled at in these games for like not getting back on defense or not getting the hand up quick enough, and Cal will chew him out. But when people you got different types of people who react different ways to criticism. Some people get their head down, go sit on the bench for a minute, get their stuff back together, come in. This kid, he got yelled at, and the very next time down the court, he's like, wants the next shot. He's like, give me the ball, and he's shooting it.
That's the confidence I want.
I love that.
That's
love it. You literally have to like be almost.
You put in the time. You've had the reps. You've got to have that kind of confidence.
Yep. Where it doesn't matter if you get in trouble. If you take a fall away 3 with 15 seconds left in the shot clock, and your coach says, "Why the heck would you shoot that ball?" You could either take that and be timid and be like, "Oh gosh, I'm scared to shoot now," or this kid who maybe. Sometimes it goes on the extreme end, but this kid is like,
what do you think about
okay, you don't want me to shoot.
Davis.
Yeah,
They want the ball same way.
I mean, he literally, it don't matter what you tell him. He's taking the shots, and he feels like every single one of them's going in. He can shoot the ball. He can score everywhere. Plays his butt off on defense too. No, they're both super exciting. And then also just the fact we got some returners. I just love it because nowadays that's a rare thing, and we have 3 or 4 guys that came back that are important pieces. So we got a chance. We got a chance to be special. I've loved watching. I love basketball. I can't wait for basketball season. It also makes it even better when football's been rough because then everyone's like, we need something to get excited about.
We're going to have, Phees Sportsball during basketball season with Sir Isaac the Guru, and we'll have Sir William Smee. It's my goal to have 24/7 programming 7 days a week. So I'd like for you guys to be able to have your own shows and have your own guests at some point too. But bottom line is this: fantasy football. Sir Isaac is just sick about it. He loves Jordan Love this week against Carolina. He likes anybody just bam right boy against the Cowboys. You got to talk about that craziness. One other thing, he likes T. Higgins against Chicago. Those are all good picks, but the Jan Jennings versus the Giants.
Yeah, I knew you'd appreciate that.
That one right there brought it to my attention.
I literally put that on there. First of all, I believe in it, but I put it on there because you have referenced he plays 3 games a year, and in the 3 games a year he plays, he
scores 3.
That's why I
best
put
ability
it there.
is availability, and that boy right there, if he's available, just scores touchdowns.
He's due for it.
He's just not ever available. It's
Nope.
kind of like when Phee drafts Christian McCaffrey. He's never available.
He's due. You're about to get. I might just for fun see if there is a way. I don't know if I could do it on the stinking Arkansas apps. I hate them. But anyway, I need to see if there's a way that I can actually bet him for like 2 touchdowns because it feels like it's coming.
I guarantee the odds
it's
would be
coming.
Really good.
It's coming.
You love to get 20-1.
Hey, I called the Tucker Kraft game last week, big time.
Man, I don't see how you do it. I don't see how you do it, Sir Isaac. When it comes to telling me individuals, and I know, that's foreign to me. You guys bet individual performance for the person like fantasy that I never did.
Yeah, it is a newer thing.
But when you go out there on a limb like that, I mean, that's not just normal. It's not normal.
Will told me the other day, I've never thought about this. He told me the other day that he thinks that I have a good eye or for some reason have good opinions on tight ends. I've never thought about that, but he might be right because it feels like every year, like in fantasy draft, I never draft tight ends early. I always pick like two guys late that I really, really like. And it seems like
It works out for
every
him.
year I hit on them almost every year. And then in all of these like weeks where I just think I have random thoughts about like tight ends doing this, remember when Jake Ferguson started going crazy? That was the week I had said that I think he was going to have a great game. Tucker Kraft last week had a great game. I don't know. I've never thought about it. I don't know why.
Well, sometimes you have a very, very good eye for evaluating talent overall, but you are getting in the ridiculous arena when it comes to just pulling the tight end out of your hat like Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
And the week you talked about Ferguson, he had 26. You ain't getting that from any tight ends.
No,
So,
I don't know. It's just there's certain like game.
I mean, they still think that the boy Kelsey is one of the best tight ends in the. He just set some records last week.
Yeah.
He's not in the top 4 or 5. These boys are athletes that can play. They just aren't there yet.
Yeah, and I think that the thing that keeps him there right now is kind of what we talked about last week, which is just his awareness of the game is just.
Oh, I love it.
It's
love his
insane,
awareness.
and so he keeps finding ways to out. But you're right. If you, as far as like physical ability right now, no, he's not on that list with some of the other guys.
When he came in the league, though, people were talking about him and look how athletic, look how he can run. Okay, now from the time he's old, and now look, he's in the bottom. I'd say he's outside the top 10.
Yeah, no, he is. As far as that goes,
I mean, I'm telling you what.
Because now that
he's still in the number 1 or 2 as far as awareness and where to go and sit down. Plus, he has a phenomenal quarterback, and he's not going away anywhere, and he's certainly not chopped liver. My point is, these tight ends are different creatures than they used to be.
They are. It's crazy. Now they're all over the place. Now it's just a matter of like them winding up in the right system. I mean, shoot, Hunter Henry's going to make tons of money in his career, and we watched him in Arkansas. I mean, that man's got a bunch of ability, but he's just been on these teams. They use him. I mean, he's not getting forgotten.
Well,
but
I
they
think
just
he signed a 3-year, $45 million contract.
Yeah.
So he's going to be fine, and he always scores 6 or 8 touchdowns a year.
Yeah.
But you don't put him in that elite class.
No.
But when he played at Arkansas, he looked elite on the field, didn't he? That's why he was there.
Hands. But no, you're right. These young guys, they're crazy.
Married a girl from Fort Smith.
Yeah. That guy at the Chargers is another one, which I put him on there too. But that Gadsden, no one even. He kind of semi came out of nowhere too. But man, he's been putting up like crazy wide receiver numbers for them, and they got weapons at wide receiver.
That's why you can't count him primarily in fantasy, but the way you do it, Go, I mean, he's liable to come out and have the game of his life this week, and the Stars not get a catch.
Maybe.
I mean, remember you had a 1 week where they'd only threw to A.J. Brown 3 times in the game?
Yeah.
And somebody forgot that Justin Jefferson was on their team for a half. He got like 1 target at the half.
Yep.
So, I mean, sometimes they get lost, and this boy's liable to show up because he is the real deal.
He's good.
When it comes to production.
There's tons of good tight ends now. It's crazy. I mean, Chicago has got one that everyone seems to be super high on. He hasn't done much. I was not as high on him myself, but
there's again, Guru knows his tight ends.
Apparently, maybe it's because I like envision myself in an alternate universe as being a tight end.
You'd have to play in the NFL. I think you'd be more like Scattaboo as a tailback, running back, than you would a tight end. But
I need a few more inches.
If you were 6'4" or above, you would have been a phenomenal tight end. And by the way, you'd have been a phenomenal running back or tight end in high school. And you probably would have played in a D2
somewhere
at tight end. You played somewhere. But
Yeah.
if you're 6'4", there ain't no question. But they just go those measurements. The 6'1" tight end ain't gonna cut it.
No, that's a fullback. That's like
That's
you get
that's
4
that's
plays
your
a game.
tailback.
Yeah.
There's your tailback.
There was a guy, last thing from me, but there was a guy, I'm working on a house right now in Bella Vista, and the guy is actually, he's bounces in and out of practice squads for the Bills right now. Last year he was on the practice squad for the Vikings. This year he's on the practice squad for the Bills. Right now they cut him, but he's like actively working out, got people interested. Anyways,
Good sized lad, I bet.
he's a tight end, and I was joking with him when I was working at his house. There was a period of time we were waiting around, and I was asking him about it. And I was like, if you guys ever are looking to fill out a practice squad, like, give me a call, just joking around. He was like, I'll tell you what. He said, you'd be a good, like, goal line fullback. I was like, thanks, man. I appreciate that. But
he knows something about football.
But no, he's a big dude, and also crazy coincidence. Do you happen to remember when Shiloh Sanders punched the guy in the preseason and got kicked off the team?
You talked
that
about
was this guy was the one that got punched by Shiloh Sanders.
Wow, there you go.
But
he brings it all full circle, folks.
It's kind of a crazy.
He
crazy
brings
deal.
it full circle. Sir Isaac Guru, it's always glad to see you, man. Wonderful time. Do you have anything else tonight?
That's all I got.
That's all he's got, folks, here at the Feast Me Network. No night with Phee tonight. No night with Phee tomorrow night. Phee will get back with you Monday.
He's on vacation.
But remember, the Feast May show with Manly Mark, it'll be there tomorrow morning. Normally, I'm telling you what, folks, Manly Mark is on a roll. And in these day and ages, you never can tell what tomorrow brings. Until then, thank you for tuning in to Phees Sportsball with Sir Isaac the Guru and two special guests from the Northeast and right here in the Fort, folks. We do appreciate you. God bless you. And have fun with these picks. I guarantee you, he's a winner.
It's fun.